Hello, friends from Rocky Mountain Zen and Sozen Buddhist Temple, and also Angel City Zen Center, and maybe other affiliate sanghas and non-affiliate sanghas. Um, Thank you for the homework. I've been quite delinquent, as you all know. One of the things I've noticed some people seem to be enjoying more is the most standard, basic words of Zen. And I suppose that's what Deshimaru Roshi did in Europe. And I would like to share those words that we learned from the Zen teachers, Zen texts, and most commonly shared materials. One particular word that I'd like to share today is called Menju. It's the letters, kanji letters you have on the thumbnail of the video. First letter, men, means face, both in terms of face, but also as a verb, action to face. And ju means to present, to give, present, bestow, menj. So since the Zen has become prevalent from in China, one of the basic fundamental way of transmission, how this teaching is conveyed from teacher to student, uh, is through this Menju. And there has been a strong emphasis. And has sort of started to capture, maybe people started to pay a little more attention to this after the pandemic began and everything started to become more be done online. Menju is something that a teacher and students um, sort of share the room space, the practice space, share the sort of a everyday life through the practice. I mean, it's definitely easier in a monastic setting, but it doesn't really mean like you're there the whole time together. You just share these moments, and you can see maybe father, son, mother, daughter, maybe grandparents. You know, you're not always with them the whole time, but you always have those moments that remains with you and stays with you as really difficult to describe, but you know for sure that influenced you, inspired you. This kind of raw moments between those who have the experience, sharing that experience in teaching, is something that Zen tradition very values, very much values. Menju symbolizes this kind of transmission, and it is quite different from how you take a course in college. You go to school, you subscribe, and learn something of the materials online, the course from the school. It's much more spontaneous, much more intuitive. And yet, that's how the Zen teachings has been shared through centuries. We do have workshop. We sometimes have course, right? But the kind of information you gain from this is different from Menju. And we need to keep this in mind because a lot of people do extensive study. But Menju, like I said, is like the moments you share with the grandpa when you're young. The moments you have shared with a teacher, whether it's a Zen teacher or maybe it's a coach in sports or a music teacher. When you are having the most casual moment, maybe over a cup of tea, coffee, or maybe you're driving on the way back from school or when you see the teacher sharing something with somebody else, or the teacher is asking for advice from other teachers. Or maybe it's not even that. It's just that raw moment of pure interaction. Understandably, we all need this kind of technologies. I'm sharing this on YouTube. So obviously, it's not quite the same as Menju, but here I am. I'm not just somebody who's kind of popping up on the video. I'm a real person. I get mad, I get sleepy, I get lazy, I get inspired. I so this is just a living creature right here. My father's favorite words to describe this is a mediocre. This mediocre teacher, here I am. And it's good that way because you don't either idealize it or just start to dismiss it. No different from how you are doing every day. Digital platform makes so many things available. Yet, if you're a student of Zen, you need to keep this in mind, the importance of Menju. Human to human, sharing anger, joy, sorrow and sadness, joy, the delight, excitement, funny moments, the mind to mind. It's a it's a really what's the word, analogous. It's definitely not a digital world when the Menju happens. One of my students uh, leaving US this evening for Japan for a 90-day Ango practice. When we study, it's reading a book. It's about thinking about the world of Zen. But here he is, he's going, and he's not just reading it, he's not just thinking about it. He's wearing the kimono every day instead of t-shirt. He's using this towel. I use it for everything. Um, he's sharing the practice place with people from all different places. Toshoji is International Training Center in Japan, and the fact International Soto Zen Training Center. So it's not like you go there, you feel like completely put in disadvantage in terms of understanding and readiness, but we all feel lack of readiness, and that's how it's supposed to be. But you kind of do your best to keep up with the practice. You're like kind of tossed into this parallel world where everything remains in the medieval era. I mean, it's not really like that, but yes, moments. And then everything becomes so raw. Experience is so real, including our emotions. Um, but in this kind of moments arising, um, moments and that comes and goes, is the moment of Menju. So that's why we emphasize the importance of being together, practicing together, and including the moments where we feel like, not comfortable sometimes. And so not comfortable because we can't hide, we can conceal, our weakness, uh, and that's good. And that's what he's gonna go through. So yes, I am thinking of going back to Canada, hopefully soon. But this is just another installment. So thank you again for encouraging me to share. I'll share the word again on the thumbnail so you can look at it. All right, thank you very much for listening. Um, please take care.